Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hopefully you all are doing well. In today's lecture we are going to discuss Hamlet written by William Shakespeare from Master's final year. The play opens during a bitterly cold night which outside of the Royal Danish Palace. There is a changing of guards. Bernardo replaces Francisco. Soon after the characters arrive, Horatio and Marsili, we learn that Bernardo and Marsile's two soldiers have witnessed an extraordinary sight on both of the previous night watches. The ghost of the King of Denmark, called Hamlet, has appeared before them in full armor. On the third night, they have welcomed Horatio, a scholar and a skeptic who just arrived in the Denmark to verify their ghost sighting. Horatio initially expresses doubt that the ghost will appear. Suddenly it does. The two soldiers chance Horatio to speak the ghost, but he does not know. The ghost disappeared just suddenly it arrived. Soon after the ghost disappearance, Marcellus asks the other why there has been a massive mobilization at Danish war forces recently. Horatio answers and saying that Danish army are preparing for a possible invasion by Fortibras, Prince of Norway. We learn that Fortibras' father was killed by many years before in single combat with the old Hamlet, now deceased king whose ghost we have just seen. Now the old Hamlet has died, presumably weakening the Danish, and there is rumor that Fortibras plans to invade Denmark and claims that the land has forfeit after his father's death. After Horatio has finished explaining the political backstory, the ghost of old Hamlet appears once more. This time Horatio does try to speak to the ghost. When the ghost remains silent, Horatio tells Marcellus and Bernardo to try to detain it. They strike at the ghost with their spear, but jab only air. A rooster crows just as the ghost appears, ready to reply Horatio at last. This sound startles the ghost away. Horatio decides to tell the Prince Hamlet, old Hamlet's son, about the apparition, and the others agree. Now we are going to discuss the scene 2. The scene begins at the court of Claudius and Gertrude. The king and queen of Denmark, they have just been married. The marriage has followed quickly after the death of the former king of Denmark, old Hamlet, Claudius' brother. Claudius addresses the quickness of the marriage, representing himself in the mourning for a lost brother, even just as joyful for a new life, his one-time sister. Claudius also addresses the question of young Fortibras' proposed to invasion. He says that he has spoken to Fortibras' uncle, the king of Norway, who has made Fortibras promise to halt any plan to invade Denmark. Claudius sent Colonius and Boltimart, the courtiers, to Norway to settle their business. Finally, Claudius turns to Laertes, the son of trusted councillor Polonius. Laertes expresses a wish to return to France, and Claudius grants permission. At this point, Prince Hamlet has been standing apart from the king's audience this whole time, speaks the first time of the many lines. Claudius asks Hamlet why he is still gloomy. Hamlet's replies are very evasive, cynical and punning. He declares that his grief upon losing his father still deeply affects him. Claudius goes into a speech about the unnaturalness of prolonged grief. To lose one's father is painful but common. He says that Hamlet should accept as nature's course. He expresses a wish that Hamlet remain with them in the Denmark instead of returning to Wittenberg. There is a student, and Gertrude second his wish. Hamlet agrees. The queen and the Rutini still exist the stage, leaving Hamlet alone. In the first soliloquy, Hamlet expresses the depth of the melancholy and discusses his mother's hastily marrying Claudius after the death of his father. He declares that his father to be many times Claudius superior as a man. After soliloquy, Horatio, Marcellus and Bernardo enters. At first Hamlet is too aggrieved to recognize Horatio, his school friend, but he finally welcomes Horatio warmly. After chatting about his stage, Horatio tells Hamlet he has seen his dead father recently, the night before the ghost. Hamlet decides to attend the watch very night in hopes of seeing the ghost himself.